welcome back to Bunters Yard. And today, this one has been inspired by a chap called Craig. I've got an Instagram picture on his account, Longmeadow Juction, which is this, taken in Devon, I think. And I was having a quick look at this, and I've saved lots of these pictures on my account to see what I might work on next, and just having a quick look around, and I was trying to work out how to do this and what colours and what steps to take, and just looking at it, I thought, well, there's really only one or two colours in there. Maybe it's predominantly just that grey where the wood has faded and or the paint has chipped off and left the faded wood underneath showing through. So there's that, and if you look closer, there's maybe a slightly different tone of faded wood in there. And then maybe just a touch of weathering powders just to add a little spot of rust on the frame and so on. So that's what we're going to go with. So this is all being done with brushes. No airbrush today. Although you would need like an aerosol spray to just seal certain layers and for the final layer. But anyway, we'll go through that in a second. Let's crack on. So first thing we need to do is to distress the paintwork, and we're going to use this Tamiya sanding sponge. This is the 400 grit, as you can see. It comes in lots of different sort of grades. The 400 is that'll take it off quite nicely. So we're just going to try and get rid of some of the newness of the livery, so we can see some of the red showing through, as if the weather has faded it and the rain has sort of made it run away a little bit. And it's just, like I say, just take away that shine. And also this will key into the paintwork just a little bit, so that our next sort of layers adhere to that properly. So as much as we can, we'll go in like a vertical strokes up and down, because that's the way the rain would normally wash off the paint. But it's not especially important on this particular one. Now you can take as much or as little off as you want. There may be whole sections where there is just no livery at all. It's entirely up to you. Just trying to be sort of random around and about. So you might want the middle panel might be more distressed than the rest, or the top rail maybe more distressed than the rest. So just try and mix it up just a little bit. Now you can see from this before is any lacquer, is that there's a little gloss part at the bottom of that door, and then the rest is flat. And we need to consolidate that just to make it all look the same, so that the paints will adhere to that in a similar fashion. So this is the time to put on your matte lacquer if you've got one. Once that's dry, we're going to use this colour. This one of our wood effect colours. This is a grey one. They come in a kit. I'll put the link down in the description. Now we're putting it on with a brush just to keep it a bit wetter. Yeah, okay, you can do this with an airbrush if you've got that. But being in the brush, yeah, it's a little bit wetter, so it will dry slower, so it gives us time to clean off as much as we want. And the idea is just to give this like a general fade and a general sort of dirty appearance. And we're not being too particular in cleaning this off, because we don't want it all to come off anyway. So some of it will catch in the grooves, you can see just around by the supports, and it just gives it an overall sort of dusty, dirty appearance, and a bit of a fade, just to take away the red newness. You can see it's a little bit different. And some of this paint will obviously catch in between the slats of the panels, which is one thing that we're after as well. You could do this with a different colour to start with. You could do this with like a dark mud colour or even black. Depends on what your sort of what environment you're modelling in. But for this one, we just want this sort of dusty look. That's what I was after. And this sort of paint fade just a little bit. We'll do the edges as well, the fronts and the backs. So So with a fine brush with the same colour grey, we are going to start to paint in these kind of where we think the paint would have chipped off. I'm trying to again be fairly random. Now this paint is quite thin and it won't cover some of the livery, so we need to give it a second pass in a little bit, which we will do. And it's just a matter of just dotting this in from place to place. Trying to not to brush it, trying to actually sort of dot it in, because you don't want any sort of brush strokes necessarily. And keep on referring to your reference picture. I've just got that off just to the left. You can see at the top of the screen there. So to give me an idea, although we're not following it exactly, we're going to do something fairly similar. And lots of the paint will start to flake towards the tops and the bottom, like the edges of the panels. So we're going to concentrate on those, and then as the water starts to get in, it would naturally flake the paint further down that panel. And you'll see that some of the planks will be sort of more heavier, sort of flaking than the rest, and some will have next to nothing really. But you'll see that they sort of it will start in a particular place and then sort of carry on. So just going to go along those bits and pieces here and there, try and make it as random as we can. Very difficult to do random. I think I've said this before, because you kind of it does end up like a pattern if you're not careful. It's quite a task to be random. So we need to carry on with this. We need to do the whole of all the wagon, all of the sides and the fronts and backs. And if you're not going to put a load inside, you could also do the same inside as well. Inside the wagon, we're going to put a load in this, so we're not going to spend any time at all on the inside. So because this paint is fairly thin, it is already pre-thinned, it does need a second coat in certain places just to make it look as if the paint has completely come away, and then we'll be looking at the bare wood underneath and not just a faded version of the livery. So we're not going to do this second coat on everything, but in certain places. It just completely then obliterates that livery from underneath. Now we could stop here, or once we've done everything in the second pass in this colour, that would probably be enough. Although if we look very, very closely at the picture, there is a second colour which we'll add in a moment. Now on these corner supports there was also marks and different sort of fades and different things. So we're just going to touch that in with the same grey. So we've chosen a light faded brown wood colour, and we're just going to add a little tiny bit of this, really, really not a lot at all. Like I say, it is not totally essential. You don't need to do this. But, if we're being fussy and looking at the picture properly, there is definitely a second colour in there. I've probably gone a little bit heavier with this one, but you have to remember that when you view this, you might be looking at this on your TV, which is a lovely 50-inch screen. This is going to look absolutely huge. In reality, don't forget, this is probably no more than a few centimetres high, so this is magnified lots and lots of times. And from a normal viewing distance, there will be a different perspective on everything. But that's my excuse, anyway, I'm sticking to it. So we're using some weathering powders. This is dark rust. This is from Vallejo. So this the dark brown is the only colour we're going to use. We're not going to go too wild and use lots of different colours. Just going to use this one. I just want to keep it fairly simple. So around the axle boxes and the rails and obviously the wheels. We'll fit the wheels back on in a second. And then once it's done, we need to give this really, ideally, a coat of matte lacquer or varnish, just to keep everything intact. So we're not spending too much time on the inside. I'm going to put a load in there anyway. But yeah, so there's my lacquer, which you can use from an airbrush or a can, whatever you've got to hand. And that's it. We're done. So yeah, just the idea is not to sort of heavily weather it, but to make it look as if it's the paint has chipped off. So thanks again to Craig from Longmeadow Juction. Very kind of you to let me use this picture. Link to his Instagram account is in the description below. And finally, just a big thanks to everybody that's subscribed to the channel so far and that joins us on a regular basis. And a great big thanks and a shout out to our new members that have joined and subscribed. And your contribution is very, very welcome and helps us do some extra things at Bunters Yard. If you've not already become one of our fans, then maybe you could just pop up to the top. There's the join button if you're on a PC, and you can also join us as well. But until next time at Bunters Yard, you have a good day, and we'll see you very soon.